Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Horror Movie Review with Daniel Richardson. And I'm going a little hoarse at work. I finally went back to work. I'm finally at work now, and after 3 weeks off, we're back. But the noise is so ridiculous there that whenever I'm talking to my coworker on the line, like I'm just accustomed to shouting over the noise, and my voice has become accustomed to that. But I guess 3 weeks off. I go back, I go hoarse the first day. Like, I'm literally, like, yelling. And I'm like, oh, my God, I forgot how much you got to yell in this factory. So, anyways, all week long, I've been straining my vocal cords. So now I'm all, Or it's Corona. It can go one or two ways at this point. But anyways, welcome back. And before we get started, I just got to say, I'm really surprised by just the positive feedback we've been getting here. Like, during that couple weeks we took off here, people went back and watched older shows. I guess, there's nothing better to do than to watch me bitch about movies. But, like, really, a lot of people's been hitting me up, sending positive things, giving praise to the show. So, thank you very much. That's awesome. Like, that was unexpected as shit right there. So, thank you very much. And we'll just keep doing what we're doing on this end. So, tonight, we're going to be reviewing easily one of my favorite Stephen King films ever. I'd say it's in my top three. It's number two, probably. Nah, it's number three. It's number three. My number three favorite Stephen King adaptation of all time. I'm talking about Carrie. Man, it may be number two. I don't know. That and Pet Sematary for me are just kind of a toss-up. I don't know. It's hard to really pick one. But we're going to be talking about the original 1976 classic Carrie. So, before we do that, let's get into some news. I'm not gonna lie, I was really stretching for news this week. Just like last week. There just isn't a whole lot going on in the world of horror, unfortunately. Tim Burton, apparently, though, he was gonna have this big art installation in Las Vegas. Dude's an artist. One of those, like, obvious things. Like, he just seems like the kind of guy who does a lot of art. So, he was gonna have this big show in Las Vegas, but, of course, now that Corona is still sweeping the nation, he's unable to do so. However, he did say that, they said that, regardless, the stuff's there, like the installation's set up. So on the Facebook watch page, they decided to do this, and the place is the Neon Museum, if you guys want to check it out, but they decided to do virtual tours throughout to, kind of show all the stuff. I don't know. Tim Burton, like, his shit, or at least his early stuff, very gothic and dark. I guess I was expecting some fucked up shit. It's really not. Like, it really just, he did a lot of, like, signs. Like, a lot of, like, I noticed the Neon Museum, he does, like, a lot of neon, like, artsy, Art Deco sign. I don't know. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I was not impressed. I didn't watch the whole thing. I was just kind of speed watching it. Turn the speed up on the YouTube and go through it kind of quickly, and I don't know. I wasn't impressed with it, but that's just me. Art is subjective. So anyway, Neon Museum, check it out if you're a big fan of art or Tim Burton or both. Check it out. Some cool news. So by the time this airs, it will already have happened. So I guess this isn't really going to be a news break, but I'm excited for it. So a while back ago, they did the Halloween Hootenanny on the last drive-in with Joe Bob Briggs. And during that, they were, he was fielding questions on Twitter about, Halloween, what makes Michael Myers go crazy? And then he wasn't satisfied with the simple, well, he was just born evil. He's like, no, I want to know why, And so all these fans were, tweeting in, some were from, some responses were really good, some were just really ridiculous. But pro wrestler and former AEW world champion Chris Jericho, he responded, and he was talking to him and everything. And anyway, it's just kind of odd. Like, Chris Jericho's watching the last drive-in, right, and saying, well, anyways, the new season 2 premiere begins next Friday, or if you're watching right now, it's premiering right now. Jericho's gonna be the co-host with Joe Bob Briggs, which I'm like, that's fucking awesome. Like, Jericho just has great charisma. anyways. Not only that, he is a horror fan, and this will be the second time a wrestler has been on the show with him. Not the last drive-in, but just, any of Joe Bob's previous shows, because Rowdy Piper was on there, co-host the night that he hosted They Live on Monster Vision. So, I don't know. Really excited about that. Really pumped to see how that goes right there. So, I don't know if anybody out there keeps up with horror board games or not, but the big hit board game from the last year or so was a game called Mixtape Massacre. I honestly haven't played it, but it looked kind of cool. It looked kind of interesting. Well, apparently they're going to come out with a new expansion pack, and it's going to be Mixtape Massacre Invasion. And it's going to have a bit of a sci-fi twist to it, and alien invasion, you got to stop or whatever. I have not played Mixtape Massacre, although I'd be down for it. The only problem is at my age, in my current whatever, like there's no one that really wants to play board games anymore. Like when I was younger, you can get a group of people together to play board games. And even when I got a little older, I had little cousins and nephews that wanted to play. So it was like board game. But now they're grown up and nobody wants to play board games anymore. And it's hard to get a good sized group of people together. At least in my area. I know there's a whole Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm sure it has its own little horror subsection of board gaming players. I'm just saying in my backyard there ain't shit. So but I don't know, maybe interesting. So we know Corona's kind of taking the fun and life out of everything right now, and theaters are shut down, and every studio has pushed back their major releases, including a lot of horror films that we were all looking forward to. But there's a savior in all this. Roger Corman. 93-year-old Roger Corman, legendary horror director and producer, has come forward, and he said that he was going to, he wants to not only promote this stay at home, keep yourself, in quarantine or isolated, stop the spread of corona in its tracks. Not only is he trying to promote that, but he's also wanting to get, make a stage, put a spotlight on a bunch of indie, unknown directors. And he has put together the Corman Quarantine Film Festival. And fucking pumped. The rules are pretty simple. You can only shoot the film on your cell phone. Must be in your house or your backyard, because once again we're promoting stay at home. Hashtag stay at home. And then it has to be 2 minutes or less. And whatever you want to do, wherever you want to be, just make your movie with only people who are in your household or whatever. And I gotta say, this Corona thing has literally derailed TPS Productions. Like now, well, it's still kind of fucking cold out, but we had a good week and a half there when I was in isolation. That the 3 weeks I was laid off, that it was nice out. Would have been perfect to start shooting, because we're still in production on Chris Cage, Modern Day Van Helsing. We don't have a lot to shoot on, but we just got a bunch of little things we got to get shot. But unfortunately, it's just like, we got to wait until this thing is lifted, And don't get me wrong, I mean, the safety of, the cast and crew is, number one. So, I mean, it's, I'm down for waiting, but at the same time, it's like, shit, now we got to wait, And there was another, we had another project we was going to move on while we're doing it, and it's been pushed back. So, like, literally, it's just kind of halted everything. But with this, quarantine, or this Corman Quarantine Film Festival, it's like, well, shit, I can make it look. So we're actually, after getting filming this, we're going to actually start production on TPS's new 2-minute short film, Self-Isolation. So, and that, we actually put that on, in fact, hopefully by the time this airs, it will already be out on YouTube. So, be looking out for that. And also, it's a website, or maybe it's I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. They're called Sinister Nights. They have a website, sinisternights.com, but I'm not sure if it's like a convention that gets together or what, but they're getting together with this one film festival. It's like the Sin Film Festival, in conjunction with Rue Morgue, and also in conjunction with friends of the show, the Slasher app. And they're all presenting, it's the I didn't write this one down. I should have. I just read about it recently. It's like the sinister or the quarantine short film competition or something like that. It's basically the same concept though. Their guidelines are it has to be 7 minutes or less. But I'm like, fuck it. I'll make one movie, send to both. Boom. Bigger exposure. So, yeah, there you go. So, I mean, just because we're stuck inside doesn't mean we can't have a little bit of fun. Like they'd say, or I guess I should have just left the Pauly Shore quote, just because we're stuck in a bubble doesn't mean we can't cause any trouble. Motherfucking Biodome. Love it. And finally, to kind of, I guess, end on a down note, it was announced a couple days ago that the San Diego Comic-Con has been canceled. For the first time in 55 years, they have, shut the doors on it, and they're just canceling it, and they're going to pick it back up next year, hopefully. Which, it's the right thing to do. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not a big Comic-Con guy, even though, honestly, it's no longer Comic-Con. Like, now it's just Movie-Con. It's Pop Culture Con. Like, it's literally, like, horror has a place at Comic-Con now, so it's just kind of like, at this point, it's not even superheroes and Star Wars. Pew pew. It's like, no, it's everything. So, and once again, the thing that sucks about this that no one really thinks about is there's a lot of artists and vendors who literally make their money each year at the Comic Con. Sorry, excuse me, a little indigestion. At the Comic Con, they make their money at Comic Con. Hard telling how many thousands, if not millions of dollars these people are making. Not including the actual people who run the thing. I'm just talking about the independent guys who show up to work and push merch and do whatever. And it's like, yeah, I mean, literally sucks a bag of dicks. They're all down right now. But once again, from what they're saying, now, it can always change. We're getting pretty close to the peak of this thing if we have not already peaked. So hopefully we're getting close to the downslide, and hopefully we'll be able to kind of restart life and get civilization back out, going. So yeah, there you go. That's the horror news right there. So here we are. We're going to go right to the Villain Showdown. This is the final quarterfinal. It's the final quarterfinal result, and I gotta say it's an upset. I think. I mean, logically, I guess it makes sense, but, I figure popularity-wise, it's considered an upset. Annabelle has defeated Leatherface. Straight up. Demonic Powers wins over a mentally challenged hillbilly in a skin mask with a chainsaw, I guess. So, yeah, Annabelle moves on. But literally, no time to rest because we're going to the last semifinal match. It's Candyman versus Annabelle. And yeah, once again, we'll go through his stats. Candyman from the Candyman series. Power or weapon of choice, the hook. His powers is just, I don't know. He's got demon powers, I guess. Even though he's not a demon, he's supernatural. And, literally, all they have to do is, say his name in the mirror, and he'll show up, and he'll kill you. That's just all there is to it. Weaknesses, there is none. Because, literally, now, I haven't seen part 2 or 3, and unfortunately, the remake, we never got a chance to see it because of fucking Corona. But I don't think there's a way to stop him, is there? If there is, let me know. Educate me. I really don't know. I just never bothered with the sequels because, 1 was awesome. There's no reason to watch 2 or 3. I didn't think so. I may watch them now so I can get caught up with, the remake because they say it's not really a remake. It's kind of a pseudo-sequel. But either way, I would say the only way you can stop Candyman is just by not fighting him, by not even, bringing him out of the mirror. But, and then Annabelle, of course, is from the Conjuring verse, which is just easier to say that than to go through all the movies she's actually a part of. And it's not a she, it's just a demon who has attached itself lovingly to this Annabelle ragdoll. Anyways, Annabelle, weapon of choice, I guess, is the Annabelle doll, and fear and supernatural powers. Her strengths, literally, I guess anything that works with demon possessions and spooky shit and hauntings and all, she kind of has that umbrella there. She can literally just attach herself to you, and the more you believe or the more you kind of invoke it, the stronger it gets on you. I guess the only weaknesses really is anything religious, like holy water and trapping it in a closet with Bible pages and just good old-fashioned exorcisms. So I guess it does have a few more weaknesses than Candyman. But will Candyman be able to pull us off? Because it's not like Candyman's going to hire the Warrens. This is just Candyman versus Annabelle. So it doesn't matter what I think, though. What do you guys think? Candyman versus Annabelle, one-on-one. Who do you think wins and why? Drop them down below. And yeah, we'll have to wait at least another week for the results to file in. But we're getting close to the finals. Finally, since episode 1 of the horror movie review, we've been doing this Villain Showdown. There's been lots of upsets. Like I honestly figured the final 4 would have like Freddy and Jason and Leatherface. Michael Myers is still there. Michael Myers is still there, so I guess that's kind of, But I figured the rest of them would, stick around. But it's like, here we go. It's a new generation. It's a new breed. So there you go. Candyman versus Annabelle. Drop them down below. So let's get to what we're doing here. Let's get to the main event. We're talking about Carrie from 1976. The story of a young girl who, she's picked on at school. She's an outcast. But her home life sucks too because she has this fanatical religious mother who's just completely domineering and overpowering and overbearing on her. However, she starts getting upset and she discovers that she does have, in fact, telekinesis, which comes into play at the very end when she goes to prom and she suffers one humiliation too much and she's like, fuck it, and she goes crazy and just goes completely. She goes Columbine. I know it's not PC or important and good taste, but fuck it, that's what she does. She literally just takes out all her tormentors and innocent people as well. Like, this doesn't give a fuck. She kills everybody. This movie is fucking fantastic. Right now, if you have not seen it, fuck you. And if you've seen somehow the remake and not this, fuck you. This movie is just, it's one of the best movies. It's literally, I always rate on a 4-star scale. I think 5 stars are ridiculous, but this gets 5 stars. Like, that's how good this movie is. It's odd because I knew that Carrie was a Stephen King book. I did not watch this until probably the mid-90s. I was like 10 or 11, maybe a little bit older. I might have been 12 or 13, but it was mid-90s regardless. And I actually watched it on Monster Vision with Joe Bob Biggs for the first time. So the first time I watched it, it was an edited version with no cursing or no nudity, which we get an abundance of, especially in the very beginning. It was just, the movie itself. But anyways, I had no idea what this is about. Like, I feel like today it's so, even then it may have been so ingrained in pop culture that everybody knew about Carrie and the prom and the pig's blood and the telekinesis. Like, I just feel like it's one of those movies that's so popular and so huge that even if you've never seen it, you would get references. But I was lucky because back in the 90s when I was young, I had no idea. Like, and I even knew about movies I didn't see yet. Like, I was aware of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and its, gory, gruesome, whatever reputation, even though it wasn't really that gory. But, it had a reputation. I was aware of it. But there's just some movies that I didn't know about. And Carrie was one of them. So, it wasn't like I sought it out. I was just watching Monster Vision. When you're watching Monster Vision, you just watch whatever Joe Bob's showing. That's just how, much I love the show. So, he shows Carrie, and I'm in it. And he's always good about not really spoiling anything. He'll always allude to it. He's hinting that it's going to get, we're going to get some crazy stuff at the end. But I had no idea what to expect. So as I'm watching it, a small part of me was disappointed. That's like, man, there's not really a whole lot of horror in this at all. It's a drama. It's a coming-of-age story. But even then, I was brought in by it. Like, and I'm not going to go on a whole, feel bad for me, pity me, because I'm fucking great. I don't sound it, but I'm great. But no, I was an outcast growing up. I just was. I was a fucking weird little kid who was odd and had no friends. And what little friends I had, it was just like, they would have sold me out instantly for popularity. We were just all kind of the same boat. So I could identify with Carrie on that level. My home life was great, so, that was okay. But as far as, like, school life, yeah, I'm definitely the male Carrie. Like, I get it completely. So, you couldn't help but just completely identify with her, you know, and you feel bad for her. The thing is, I mean, I'm not going to go through this movie beat by beat, but let's just hit the pros right off the bat. Brian De Palma, this is probably my favorite thing he's ever done. And I don't know, maybe there's other people who's just like, oh no, his best work is this. To me, it gets no better than Carrie. I think this is the peak of it right here. He definitely has those influences of Hitchcock, but at the same time, this is where he really has his own, you know, the Brian De Palma split screen. Fucking love that shit. And I just feel like the art direction in this movie is fantastic. The way they do the color, the look, the vibe. You know, the end, there's a dream sequence that just has a very dreamlike quality, and because it's a dream. But there's a lot of scenes that just take place on a day outside that it still looks like, it looks dreamlike. It looks almost like you're watching a weird fairy tale in a way, especially any shots of the house during the daytime, Carrie's house during the daytime, or when she's just out and about. The score, which I'm not gonna lie, my poser colors are coming through right now. I don't remember who does the score. I thought for some reason it was the same guy who did Blue Velvet, and it's not. Because I watched it. Pino something? Is that it? I don't know. But whoever did the score did a fantastic job. And it's just like, goddamn, like that truly elevates it. Because it cuts between doing the Bernard Herrmann strings that we hear in Psycho, the violent I can barely do that, by the way. It takes that, but then it's just the lovely score you hear. The opening sequence when you're seeing all the girls in the shower, to when at the end when Carrie's mom finally snaps and tries to kill her, and that whole final sequence of her being stalked down the stairs. It's just the scores. I mean, I've never been one of those people who like listens to scores. I could listen to this. Like I could literally put this on and just listen to it as I'm driving, or you know, I'm relaxing at home. Like it's really just that good. Underrated. You don't hear people really go on about the score of this movie, but I've always thought this was like one of the better scores. Like I don't know what my top 10 would be. I've never done that. It would be in my top 10. I'm almost positive of it. Because whereas like movies like Jaws, it's iconic and it's recognizable. I'm not listening to that. I don't care about it. It's like it is what it is. It works perfectly for the movie, and I'm not saying that at all. Or I'm not saying it isn't. Like don't get me wrong, it deserves the praise it gets. That movie is amplified by the score. But it isolated is nothing. Whereas with this movie, not only does it elevate the movie, it's also good by itself. So, you know, that's just my thoughts on that. Acting, my God. Sissy Spacek, if I'm not mistaken, she was like in her late 20s, if not early 30s, when she did this role as a young teenage girl in high school. And, I mean, you can't tell she's not. Like, even knowing it, I'm watching it, I'm just like, no. She's definitely a girl. She's a teenage girl in this movie. You know, it's like, I don't know if you guys ever watched, I'm definitely reaching here, this may be a little obscure, Porky's Revenge, Part 3 in the Porky's trilogy, which I fucking love Porky's. Those kids were playing high school kids. Those kids were in their late 20s. You could tell they're in their late 20s. Like, you're watching that movie going, dude, there's not a motherfucking one of you guys that's in high school right now. Come the fuck on. And I know that's usually standard practice. Usually in Hollywood, they will get people in their early 20s that can pass for teenagers. And it usually works. I mean, even when you watch Scream, they all say they were all in their early 20s. And it's like, yeah, but they would look youthful enough to where you didn't really buy it. But Sissy Spacek was like, she's still a young lady, but still it's like, no, she's past her, I'm even a college student age. And it's like, no, she looked like she was, she looked very youthful here. And in her acting, like I said, when you read the script, and don't get me wrong, I love this movie. I do feel like if you didn't have the proper actors in here, this movie could have gone a totally different direction. Because, I mean, it can borderline on camp, especially with Piper Laurie as her mother, Margaret White. But everybody just reins it in and makes it that, I don't know, it comes off even more believable. Even when some of the lines that are being uttered, like, you know, I can see your dirty pillows, you know, or they're all going to laugh at you. You know, all that stuff could literally be taken over the top, but for some reason, these people, and maybe that's De Palma also creating and crafting this perfect, you know, world where he's pulling them in and just the way he frames it and everything, I don't know. It just works perfectly. William Catt. Now, I know he would go on, I've never seen it, but he would go on to do that show, All American Hero or some shit like that. You know, Costanza, George on a Seinfeld, he ripped off the song for his answer machine, which is brilliant. That's the only reason I even know about that show. I've never heard of it. I've never seen it. And I just thought that that was just a one-off George Costanza thing where he was just making a musical thing. And everyone's like, no, that's a reference to an old, like, 80s TV show or 70s TV show. And I was like, what? But as an adult, I mean, I'm sure William Catt has done other things. In fact, I know he has because his IMDb page is pretty full. But, like, I don't know what he's done outside of this. And it just seems like, dude, he should literally have been like a megastar. Like Travolta would eventually get, you know, he would rise to prominence and then kind of fade, but then be brought back to Pulp Fiction and, you know, go up to be top A-lister guy. And it's like, how William Catt was never on that level, I'll never get, because I think he is just brilliant in this movie. Dude, he's so charismatic. He's so charming. Dude, he has that, like his hair, it's like the Peter Townsend fucking hair, dude. It's fucking awesome. Like, I love the perm. Like, I'm gonna grow my hair out and then perm it just to look like, you know, Tommy Ross from Carrie. The movie, like I said, you know, acting, you know, I mentioned John Travolta, PJ Soul. I mean, all the side characters do great. It's just, I don't know, it's a brilliant fucking movie. Once again, I mean, it definitely has aged a bit. You know, there's this, I was fortunate enough to see this on the big screen because the university that's in a couple of towns over, they have their own cinema, and I'm sure they still do. I haven't been there in a while, but they used to show all these old movies, and most of the time it was just free. I think they're charging now, but at the time it was free. All you had to do, though, you had to go ahead and order your tickets, though, because if you try to go there night of, you just, you know, taken. But anyways, I got to see Carrie on the big screen, and it was just kind of funny because, like, there'd be a lot of scenes or things people would say, and clearly, like, you know, the crowd's laughing because it's kind of out of, you know, like, John Travolta does kind of a racist type slave voice at one point, saying, yes, I'm master, or master, and yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, that hasn't aged well. But once again, it's a product of the times, and we move past it. Or the fact that, like, you know, they're inside the principal's office and the PE teacher's smoking like it's no big deal, and it's just kind of like, yep, that wouldn't fly today, you know. So it's just like, you know, it definitely, you know, I won't say it hasn't aged at all, but the quality has not gone down. It is still just a brilliant movie. One of my favorite moments too, as I'm watching it, is the dance sequence. And of course, I watched special features, you know, years ago, and they talk about how they was on a turntable. William and Sissy's on a turntable, and they were turning one way, but then there was a dolly track that circled that, and the camera's going another way. And so as the scene progresses, it's spinning more and more. And it's a brilliant fucking scene. I love that shot. It's so beautifully shot. Like, I don't know, it's very ambitious, and it's just like, it works. Like, you know, once again, everybody gives De Palma that shit of being like a Hitchcock knockoff. It's like, Hitchcock didn't do that. At least I don't think. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe that's where he got it from. But this is the one I noticed it in, so I was just like, fuck, that is brilliant. So anyways, you know, this movie, it's so, I mean, like I said, it really kind of feels like a coming-of-age type story. I mean, because it is. You're seeing this, you know, the ugly duckling become a beautiful swan. And I don't care how many times I watch this movie, because if I've seen it, you know what happens. There's still a part of me when I watch it, I'm just hoping somehow my DVD will mess up and somehow they don't pull the blood. Like, somehow the PE teacher and Sue look down there and they see, you know, and I forget the bitch's name, Nancy. Or wait, Nancy's the good girl, Sue's the bitch. I don't remember, one or the other. They see the bitch underneath the you know, stage with Travolta, and they bust him, and we get a happily ever after. And that's ridiculous. I don't feel that way about any other movie, hardly. I can watch any movie, you know it's going to end tragically, like, you know, and there's only a handful where I'm always just like, man, maybe this time will be different. Maybe this time, you know, and because it's just like, her, I mean, she's so believable from the moment where, you know, she's trembling as she's walking up to the stage, and the tear in her eye as she wins. And even though, you know, a couple people in the audience are in on it, everybody just seems genuinely happy that she won. It's so triumphant, and then, god damn it, the blood comes down. And I'm not gonna lie, you know, and I mean, you know, it's a movie for fuck's sake, but goddamn, you don't feel bad for the fact that she goes, like, when I was younger, I felt bad that, like, the innocent people was killed. like the teacher that was her friend gets like cut in half by like one of her falling basketball court or whatever the fuck it was that came down, or basketball goal. You know, you feel bad for, you know, Tommy Ross, who literally, genuinely, you know, was making an effort to, you know, bring her out of her shell, try to sew her into his crowd. You know, he gets hit in the head with a bucket. You know, we don't see what happens to him, but you know he burns up in that fire. I mean, he's not getting out. And I used to feel bad for all those characters. And then as the older I get, just the more cold-hearted and cynical I get, I am just like, nah, fuck them all. Like, literally, the heartache that I experienced just watching Carrie go through this is like enough for me to go, God damn, no, fucking wipe them all out. And then it's even more brutal because, you know, once again, you know, she kills. God damn, I don't know why I'm getting Nancy and Sue mixed around. Doesn't matter. She gets, you know, one of them is in the car with Travolta. She kills them. But then she gets home, and it's like she just wants things to go back to normal. You know, even though she was miserable with her psychotic religious mother, she just wants her mom to hold her and let's pray together. And then, man, fucking the mom takes out the knife and stabs her in the back. And god damn, even then, my heart's breaking for Carrie. You know, and at the same time, though, it is one of the more frightening scenes, in my opinion. Because don't get me wrong, the massacre is not that frightening. It's awesome. It's freaking brilliant. Even when I was a kid, I didn't think it was scary. I was just like, oh my god, Alice is badass. But the scene where, you know, as Carrie falls down the stairs and she looks up and there's her mom with this, she's gone, and she's just got this smile on her face, and she's got the knife, and, you know, she's doing the, you know, she's making the cross with it. She's doing it in the name of the Lord. And that, I mean, once again, that's the thing that always frightens me is because I've seen how religion can affect people. Like people that, you know, you think are normal. And then as soon as you bring up that you're not religious, they will just turn on you. And it's like, god damn. Now, never on this level. I've never been physically attacked because I'm an atheist. But I've seen people, you know, they've shunned me. They turned their back on me. They just flat out said, you know, the Christian way of saying it without saying it, you know, fuck you, you're a godless heathen, and we want nothing to do with you. I've experienced that. So I know that religion can make people do insane things. So when you see her coming down the stairs with that knife, and she's stalking her daughter, to me, way more frightening than Jack stalking his kid in the hotel. Because of that, you're at least thinking like, well, at least he's being driven by that. Like it's the ghost of the hotel. It's, you know, whatever evil entity has taken over the Overlook, has taken over Jack. Whereas here, it's like there's nothing evil. It's just she's so demented in her religious beliefs that she's willing to kill her own daughter to make things right with the Lord. It's so fucked up. And once again, the pain in her face when she has to defend herself and kill her own mother, it's just like, god damn. And at the end, she's even more remorseful, like even after she killed her, and it's just too much. She literally grabs her mom's dead body, drags it into the praying closet with the creepy Jesus, by the way. I'm not trying to trample on anybody's religious beliefs here. I never tried to do that. But I don't give a fuck. That's a creepy-ass fucking Jesus doll that they pray to. The one that's kind of like awkwardly crucifies pose, and he's just got the wild hair and the bug eyes. Like, god damn, that is fucking scary. Anyways, she goes to that closet, and then the whole house collapses. And once again, it's such a gut punch, because it's just like every time you watch this movie, you're just like, man, you're rooting for Carrie. You know she's going to do bad at the end. You know innocent people are going to die, but you still root for Carrie. And she doesn't get her happy ending, unfortunately. And then the one survivor, you know, she's traumatized for life now. I mean, I'm assuming, at least for a good while, you know. And but yeah, brilliant movie. 4 stars, 5 stars, 7 thumbs up, whatever your guys' rating scale is. Whether if you're a IMDb 10.0 or a Rotten Tomatoes 100% fresh, certified fresh, sorry, or a Cinema Score guy of A+. You know, whatever your scale is, if you're the Ebert 2 thumbs up guy, top of all of that. Like, it literally is just, it's the best movie, period. It's one of the best horror films ever made. It's one, you know, if you look at it as a drama, it's one of the best dramas ever made. Like, it's just fucking brilliant. Now, I've never actually seen, it had a sequel, The Rage Carrie 2, which I've seen the ending of it, and I wasn't like I tried to. It was on HBO one night, and I just had to flip to it. I was like, what the fuck's this? And then I was like, oh yeah, this is Rage Carrie 2. I mean, I wasn't going to not watch it. I mean, I was like, fuck it. But I mean, I already got to the end of it, so I didn't get to the new girl being bullied or whatever. All I know is it has a really good dude getting his nuts shot off with a harpoon gun, which I think it was the dude from Home Improvement. Brad. Ty something? It's not JTT, it's the other one. It's Brad. I don't know his real name. Ty something. But I think he's the one who gets his nuts shot off. If not, whatever. He's in the movie. He gets, But I've never seen it. It seems like the hardcore fans of the first one didn't like it. But it seems like as years have gone on, like the kids who grew up watching it really responded to that. They really like it. But I've never seen it. Shortly after that, they did a TV miniseries, or maybe it's a TV movie. I don't know if it was a miniseries or not, but they did a movie that was more close to the book. Because the book is pretty, this movie follows the book pretty well. There is a few changes that they've done and everything. And I guess the miniseries or TV movie follows that pretty well. Never seen it. I did unfortunately watch the 2013 remake with Chloe Perez and Julianne Moore. And talk about disappointment. And I'm not a guy who's always like, fuck the remake no matter what. No, I'll give a remake a chance because sometimes a remake can turn out good. It is few and far between, but it can happen. But with the remake, A, it just looked glossy. It had this CW vibe to it. B, the fact that it honestly felt like, with the exception of Chloe and Julianne Moore, the rest of the cast could not act. It felt like I was watching a high school play of kids putting on Carrie, the stage play, with good production values. That's what it reminded me of, because it really did just come across as a soulless cash grab. And then on top of that, I didn't think Chloe Grace did that good as Carrie, because A, it's not believable. She's fucking pretty and smoking hot and sexy or whatever whatever description you want to throw in at her. She would be the hot chick at school. The only thing she would get heat for is by other girls for thinking she's a slut and spreading those rumors kind of thing. But it's like, she would still have her own group of friends and dudes who want to bang her. So the fact that she's just like, oh, she's the ugly poor kid, it's like, no, she's not. It made no sense. And I just didn't think she was the right girl for this role. And she's a great actress. I love her just about everything she's done. But for some reason, this movie, I'm just like, no, she did not hit this one at all. The only one that did good was Julianne Moore, but unfortunately, she was no Piper Laurie. I mean, she did good. She did her own thing with it. She had a tall order. I mean, once again, you're taking one of the most iconic characters of horror, one of the most iconic performances in cinema, period, and trying to, duplicate that, or even if you just try to do your own thing, people's always going to compare it, and unfortunately, it's like, even when I'm watching, I keep telling myself, like, listen, don't compare it to her, but you can't help it, you do. But she was really the only shining thing about that movie, and over a bunch of CGI, and it looked fake as shit. Yeah, it is, I wasn't big on it. So yeah, that's it. That's my rant, my review of Carrie. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. Let me know what you liked about, what you didn't like, whatever your thoughts are. And yeah, that's all I got, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and until next time. Oh shit! I didn't know what you're on. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on.
pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh yeah, it's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? God, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.